Hello and welcome back. As you can see, the hide glue under the rawhide has dried and our shield has once again taken the form of this very distinct taco shape. This is because the glue and the rawhide has dried and the force of the rawhide and hide glue is much greater than just the hide glue and the linen on the backing. But that isn't a problem. We are going to fasten a handle on the back side and that will force the shield into a somewhat more level way. To be absolutely certain that the handle doesn't break under the stress, you could take additional wood or iron strips and fasten them around here. But I think that's optional. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make the edging, and we are going to make a rawhide edging. So I have taken the rawhide strips that I showed you in the first video. I have soaked them in water so they are pliable, and now I am beginning to heat up the hide glue. The hide glue, so that we can glue the edging on. So now that we have our glue ready and our rawhide ready, we should just take our strips, apply glue and then push them on to the shield. As you can see here, my strips are fairly wide. The ones that you can buy in internet shops are often 5 to 5.5 centimeters, but I have chosen to make mine around 7 centimeters. And once again, there is an outside of rawhide and an inside, and it is a little bit harder to feel it when it's wet, but you can definitely feel it. You can also look after particles of hair and stuff like that. So let's just try it out. We are applying a fairly liberal amount of hide glue. The thing is, the more hide glue you use, the heavier your shield becomes. But I am not the kind of person that uses a low amount of glue for anything. I think just glue that up. And as you can see, it almost immediately sticks to it. I don't even really have to do much. Just make sure to smooth it out and you'll be good to go. And make sure that it is somewhat even. But it looks good. Now the tricky part is when you've already started and you can't really reach into the rawhide to apply the glue as we did on the first part. But just try your best. Need to stand it up here. I'm sorry if you can't really see now, but it's, as I said, a bit tricky to get the glue in all the places that you need to have. And I'm not a very big fan of clamping it down. There are, of course, advantages to doing that, but I feel that since the glue is drying so quickly, you can just carefully, while it dries, make sure that any folds are smoothed out. And this is also the folds you can correct afterwards with the iron, just as we did with the whole facing. Just make sure it sticks. Alright, so just continue doing that around the edge, and soon the shield edging will be complete. And if you run into any problems like I have done here, you see that it wouldn't really stick, you can always just, and this is the most easy way, put some paper over and use the iron to heat it up. Just make sure it doesn't get too hot. And when it's a bit hot, just take a piece of wood or something. This is thin plywood, and just press and let it cool again. And even if you get it to stick very well on the first try, I would still recommend doing this. Alright, as you can see, I am stitching up the edging. I'm just drilling a couple of holes around the whole length with a 4mm wide or 3 drill bit, and then I have taken some linen string and just twisted 3 strands together to make it a little bit thicker and more durable. And here you can see a rabbit attempting to make a shield, but failing due to the poor grasp of using tools and hide glue.